Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you all doing? Hey, Living Life. Good afternoon, beautiful. Hey, Kendra. Good afternoon. Sorry, I was typing a note to myself that I need to deal with. This picture came courtesy of one of the members of our, let me see, I think it was Lori or either Miss Thompson who put this up in the chat room earlier. And you can access the chat room on Patreon. I think that's accessible to everybody. And we are having a good time over there. It was Miss Thompson who shared that picture. And I'm like, if that ain't so accurate, every time you turn around, Trump is always looking for somebody else that he can blame for whatever is going on. And right now, he needs as many distractions as possible. Why? Because the Epstein story isn't going away. It shouldn't go away because you should not forget that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files and that he is using the federal government to help try to shield him and cover up his association. He used the federal government to move Ghislaine Maxwell from a prison in Florida, a medium security prison, to a low security prison in Texas. Okay? So she could be closer to her family. She's not a victim. She's not a victim. So again, why is Trump siding with the person who is not protecting children? That's the part I don't understand. Well, I understand why it's happening from where I sit. It looks like somebody's trying to cover up any participation that they may have had. Hey, Nerd Alert, good afternoon. I love this picture too. That's when I saw it earlier, I howled. I said, oh yeah, that's him. That's him. He be looking for any and everything he can find. If he's going to throw something up at the wall as much as possible. Hey, Nuri. That's the nature of Trump. Throw it up at the wall and see if it sticks. And if it sticks, he keeps doing it. You understand? If it sticks, he keeps doing it. He's not going to not do it. You understand? He's not going to not do it. If it works for him, he's going to keep doing it. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? It doesn't seem to me to be very hard to get people to vote against their own best interest if you give them somebody that's available to hate. Now, just so y'all know Texas Democrats are still staying away from Texas so that Republicans cannot force a gerrymander of Texas and get rid of Democratic seats just so Donald Trump doesn't have to face any type of opposition. Oh, Jasmine Crockett not missing. I just saw her in a video online with one of those. I forget the guy's name. Hold on, I'm looking him up right now. That's a pretty famous TikToker. So she's not missing at all. Jasmine Crockett ain't missing. She's around just fine. It's just that she making sure she not in Texas so that Republicans cannot force her to be there and vote for some Pearl Mania 500. Yeah, Pearl Mania 500. I just saw that he had a video with Jasmine Crockett, which surprised me. I was so happy. I said, yes. So Texas Democrats are fighting. Technically, Texas Democrats, some of them are asking for donations so they can continue to stay out of Texas. See, these aren't rich lawmakers. These aren't the lawmakers worth millions and millions of dollars. These are the other lawmakers, the ones that aren't. See, the ones that are worth millions and millions of dollars, those are the ones that took your health insurance. They want your children to work. They see you as a resource. That's why I said they're not the same. And understand, Democrats who were Democratic lawmakers, they have their kids with them. Some of them have their children with them. And somebody called and placed a threat at a hotel that they were staying at. So the hotel had to be evacuated. These parties are not the same. So this is why when people come into my lives and say, well, Republicans and Democrats aren't different, you got to go. You got to go. You got to go. You can't come here and say that and expect me to validate that position because that's not true. I've never known of Democratic candidates, Democrats encouraging their members to do things like that. But in conservative circles, they do. It doesn't make any sense. Thank you so much, Miss Dakota. I appreciate that. It doesn't make any sense. Y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn. These people are playing right in our faces. These are people with privilege. I put up something earlier where I talked about the guy from Nebraska, the congressman who said we cannot afford free health care. Then how we afford to pay his health care? And his $174,000 a year salary. And keep in mind, he keeps that health care up until the very last moment that he's breathing. Even when he's not working in Congress no more, he still gets access to those benefits. He gets a great pension. But somewhere along the way, we can't afford universal health care. Sound like to me we need to cut the salaries of Congress. Hey Block, hey Trail. Let me stop for a second. Good afternoon to everyone. Happy Thursday. I know you had a great day. And if you didn't, listen, don't let it consume you. The day ain't over yet. You can change that. Okay, so welcome and thank you for being here today. I appreciate your support. Hey, Miss Sips T. But I'm like, the government can support it. Just like I said in the video, it's not that America doesn't have the money. America doesn't have the will to tax rich people. Your Congress is a safe haven for rich people to get tax shelter. Why? They're rich too. Thank you, darling Nikki. I appreciate your support, beautiful. And let me stop to say thank you all for all of the likes, all of the gifts, all of the shares. And when you're in here this evening, if you can just do me well, I ain't gonna lie. Look, I was about to tell a tale. Do me a couple favors. Tap that like button for me with share. Copy link counts as a share. You don't even have to send it to anybody. But thank you so much for that. Because it just helps for the promotion of my TikTok live, which I appreciate. Thank you all so much for gifts if you're sending them, but they're not required to participate and be a part of this conversation. Understand that. But if you love the conversation that I go even deeper because there's a lot of things TikTok don't let me say and talk in certain ways. Check out the link in my bio to check out the Patreon. Just so you know, for those of you who are Circle members on Patreon, a new podcast episode has already dropped today. Everybody else will see that new podcast episode tomorrow. But that new podcast episode for the rest of you has already dropped today. And I talk about the quiet coup that's happening right now with the Supreme Court. I told y'all about that earlier. Supreme Court is up to no good too. See, the tentacles of all of this dysfunction, it stretches far and wide. Your Supreme Court quietly is trying to take away your voting rights. Yep. Why? For rich people. Hey TMP, you know why the gig is up? Because you're not allowed here, beloved. No, sir. You can't talk sassy like that to me. What is it with sassy men in America? I don't understand. Y'all sassy. Y'all be more sassy than y'all work and bring home money. I don't understand. How about you spend less time being sassy and more time getting your money up? Okay? Then you ain't got to feel intimidated by women that make more money than you. Catch that. They be so busy. It's only the sassy broke ones. The guys with money don't spend time going back and forth with women, frankly. Because they're too busy making money. Chill. But them sassy broke ones, honey, they be all over the internet. Them sassy broke ones all over the internet. You're stressed, should you just move out of America? Okay, Sierra, let's address that. First of all, never make decisions when you're stressed out. That's the first thing. You need to calm yourself so that you can be able to think with clarity. Because my grandmother used to have this saying, you don't want to go from sugar to shit. Okay? I'm not saying America is the greatest nation in the world. I'm not implying that. What I'm saying is what you don't want to do is make a rash decision and just do something and go out of the frying pan into the fire. You have to be strategic with the things that you do. You understand? So what I am saying is this. I do think it's worth it to explore other options and opportunities outside of America, frankly. If you care about being educated, if you care about the quality of your food, your water, your housing, your health insurance, like it's all these things that you got to take into consideration. Hold on for a second, you guys. Hold on. Sorry, you all. I had to answer a call real quick. Apologies for that. Okay, so I want to go back and say you don't want to make rash decisions. You understand? But just because you're emotional about something. So you got to think it through. I do think it's worth it to explore other opportunities and other options in other countries to see if it's for you. Especially if you care about, like I said before, if you care about your, hold on, I got to move something that's annoying. If you care about your health insurance, your water, your food, your safety, when you take all of those things into consideration, I think it's worth it to explore other opportunities. That's what I tell everybody. Explore other options. Don't box yourself in. Don't feel like you're stuck, because you're not stuck. Quiet as kept, humanity in America isn't stuck because you have laws, you have things in place that ultimately your government is a reflection of the people. If y'all don't like what y'all government is doing, at any time you can change what your government is doing. You don't have to wait for an election to do that. Read your Declaration of Independence. See, your government counts on you not knowing what rights you have as a citizen. They want to tell you what you can do because they want to keep you docile and keep themselves paid. Wake up. Hey, my dog is Charlie. Good afternoon, beautiful. But that's the whole goal, to keep you docile and quiet. And if they succeed at that, they win. So that's what I would tell you, Sierra. Just slow down, take some breaths, because you got to remember, one of the features of what Trump is doing is for you to feel overwhelmed. They want you to feel overwhelmed and they want you to give up. Those are the two things they're looking for you to do. Those are two guaranteed things they want you to do. So if you do those things for them, they win. Hey, Mrs. Thompson, you see what I put up there? I had to, because when I saw that picture in the chat room, I howled out loud. Okay, howled. But understand, you have to have a focus. So that's what I would say to you all. Don't be so rash to hop up and go somewhere. You know. But understand, these foreign countries also are hiring workers to work. Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine, Ms. Thompson. But these companies, these foreign countries, are also hiring Americans to work remote. So you don't necessarily have to move to China to work for a Chinese company. You understand? So there are many ways for you don't have to live in Canada to work for a Canadian company. They're always looking for, because trust me, I've been looking around. And so I've been trying to ready myself to and get my stuff together to apply for those jobs as well. So it's all types of jobs. So that's why I would say, don't just be so quick to just run and do something, but you need to be exploring what options you have. Don't wait until the last minute to explore some stuff. But just know, as I was saying before, the fact that conservatives have been calling, they called and made threats at the hotels that they were at and stuff like that, and no GOP Texas official has said anything against it, is telling. Hey, C. Mandy B, you said you shared my podcast about protecting your joy. Oh, thank you so much, C. Mandy, and I appreciate your dad's support as well. Yes, important. Listen, I'm so glad some of you have enjoyed that Protecting Your Joy podcast episode that came out earlier this week. Because listen, I know I tell you a lot of things that are really, really heavy, but you always need to remember that happiness is a choice, right? We're happy. You don't have a choice. Yeah, happiness is a choice. Joy is something that you deliberately can create for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Happiness is kind of happenstance, but joy is like purposeful. You have to chase joy. You know what I'm saying? And so if you want it, you just have to go get it. You have to manifest it, and you don't need money to be joyful. See, we turned into a society that we thought in order to be joyful, you needed money to be joyful. No, that's capitalism. Capitalism wants you to spend money to be joyful. But you don't need to. And that's the other episode that came out, Wednesday, where I talked about how capitalism, right? I told you guys in that episode, capitalism is not for you, right? Capitalism is not for you. Capitalism is devouring America one town at a time. Capitalism is for rich people. We are the product when it comes to capitalism. That we are the product constantly. Why do you think they always collecting data? Why you think data is so important to these companies now? Because data allows them to understand how to specifically market to you and to put themselves in a position where more often than not, they can tap into your emotions to get you to spend money that you don't even need to spend on problems that you really don't have, that they've created, but they really don't exist for you. That's just the lie that they tell you to keep you buying stuff and feeding the beast. What did I tell y'all? In order for capitalism to work, it has to have constant growth. And these companies, in order to have constant growth, what do? They lay people off. They love to downsize. Don't they talk about now? Why do they downsize? To keep those profits going up? Because they have to make those those investors happy. If you don't have constant growth, that looks like failure, right? To maintain a steady, for whatever reason in America when it comes to businesses, if they maintain steady profits, that's seen as failure. They must constantly be going upward. Well, in order to constantly go upward, say it again, Decade, it's at our expense. They got to keep coming up with new problems that they create for us. New ways to charge you more and give you less. Okay, I'm going to give you a great example. And I brought this up before, but I'm bringing it up again because it's important for you to understand. We're now at a time in America where you don't, you're at the time in your life where you own so much stuff, or I'll say this, you don't own any of it. You paid for access to it. Y'all haven't even paid attention. Capitalism is so bad, it tricked you into the cloud. I said this when the cloud first came out. I said, oh, that's a scheme. That's designed for people not to own nothing. Watch. And I was right. The cloud. So you go and you sign up for all of these things. Now, fast forward decades later, you don't own nothing. Everything you buy, you got to download it. You got to there was a time you could buy a movie and physically own it in your hand. But now they're all on the streaming services. So if you don't physically own that movie, you got to pay to watch it somewhere. You've either got to pay for a subscription, you've got to pay to see the movie individually. You can either buy it or you can rent it, but it's always going to be some bullshit. And even if you buy it off of a specific platform, if that platform in the future no longer has that item, you've lost access again. But there was a time for $10 you could own it in perpetuity. Now you pay $10 to rent it. And hell, that's a 24-hour rental. We used to get 3 days and it was less than $10. Those of us old school people that used to use Blockbuster and Earl's Video, hell, even then when we rented stuff, you got 3 days. I think it was 3 or 4 days to watch a video that you rented. It was still cheaper then to rent things than y'all are paying to technically rent them now. And we had to leave the house to go get it. You're getting played by the system. The system is designed to never let you own anything. Yep, especially video games, Block. I'm glad you brought that up. See, I'm an old school gamer. I've been playing video games since ColecoVision. I still play video games, but I don't play them nearly on the level that I used to because you can't own as much as the things that you want to own. See? Because I come from a time you still own, you could play people online, but you own the game. So you had an option to play online or play offline. But the bottom line is, as long as you own that game, you could play it whenever you wanted to. You were not controlled by the companies saying, no, you can only play this when we want to keep it on our servers. And then, okay, I'm going to tell you something else. See, y'all ain't noticed this happened to you too. You pay for access to the game. You don't own the game. Right? And then you got to play it on their systems, right? That you got to buy too. But then they make you pay to be on their network just to play the game that you already bought. Poof. You got 3 ways. 3 ways. People should be outraged by this. You pay $800 for a gaming system and you still got to pay to get on their fucking network every month. Not once, every month. And at any time, they could change the price for that monthly access. Think about it. At any time, they can also take away access to the game. We don't support that game anymore. So you paid for the game, but now you don't even get to play it no more. You know I still play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, but I don't play the one that's in the cloud. I still own the physical copy of the original game I bought when it first came out. I still got it. Still got it. I said, I'm not, that game, listen, people can say whatever they want about GTA 5. Okay, yeah, it's cool, but nothing hits like that San Andreas. I'm sorry. When San Andreas came out, after all of those other GTAs that come out, it was like video games were going in a completely different direction at that point. It was confirmed. And for me, I used to love running around thugging and stuff like that, because thugging is always fun in that game, right? Ain't nothing like thugging, because I'm not really built for jail. But the game let me feel like a little thug, right? What I honestly used to love to do is drive around and listen to the fucking radio. I remember I even bought the CD box set of Grand Theft Auto radio stations, just so I could listen to all the music. Because the radio stations were fucking bomb back on San Andreas. They were so good. So good. I would just ride around in the hills just to listen to radios. Between Bootsy Collins and Michael Bivins, chill, they were hilarious as radio DJs. So it was fun to me. But if you don't own a physical copy of that game, you're bound by paying whatever PlayStation wants you to pay. Or whatever these companies want you to pay, because you don't own it. You're paying for access. Oh, you still listening to the GTA radio stations on YouTube? Yeah, they were unrivaled and unmatched. I'm sorry. Now, why I do love a lot of the new things that GTA has done. I don't like the structure of nickel and diming and monetizing everything. Think about it. Even with GTA 5, you buy the game. Then they offer you to pay for the premium stuff. Members, that's every month. You got to pay for the PlayStation Network. Then every week they release a new digital clothing that you can buy, digital cars you can buy, digital property you can buy. None of this shit you really own. It's all digital. When did y'all stop wanting to own things and touch them with your own fucking hands? Because not me. I be looking at it after a while going, man, fuck that. That don't even make any sense to me. Like, the car is not real. Why do I don't need that fucking car. I don't care about stunting on these people in this fucking game. Make it make sense. Yeah, Fortnite, Roblox. Roblox is some of the worst. They catching your babies young. They caught your babies young with Minecraft and Roblox and shit like that. Oh, they caught your babies real young. I am for you. I remember IMVU or something like that. One of my kids, my oldest kid used to do that back in the day. Oh, I remember all these things. They've been monetizing the babies since they were born. Once you give your baby an electronic device, they gonna get you. I remember my niece and nephew's birthday come, they like, oh, just give me a gift card. I'm going on Roblox. Yeah, I'm trying to get some bucks. Say it again, some V-bucks. They don't want no cash. They want that Roblox money. You understand? They be in these streets ready to throw down over Roblox money. You understand? You say your nephew charged $70. See? I thought that the kids are hooked. The kids are hooked. They start your babies young. So now you got a generation of children that will grow up never understanding what it means to own anything. So they're going to be okay with never owning nothing. Because they won't know nothing no different. You see, they won't know nothing no different. But when I grew up, I actually owned music. I still own my mama's music and my grandmama's music. I own my grandmother's 45s and my mother's record collection. Still own both. You know why I can? Because they physically owned something. Hey, Jess. They physically owned something. Oh, you have a big DVD. Yep. I got DVDs, I got CDs, I got VHS. Hell, I got Blu-ray discs and a Blu-ray player. Stop playing with me. Y'all can sit up here and keep letting these people get you into all this digital shit, but you don't own nothing. When I want to watch something, I want to be able to watch it. I don't want to have to pay somebody, especially if I already bought it. That doesn't make any sense to me. I be feeling like because honestly, that's what it is. You getting got. You already bought it. They're making you buy it again. Yep, I was brought up to own things. Even if you had to pay on them before you physically had it in your possession, you still, once you had it, it was yours. It didn't belong to nobody else. It was yours. People are going to look back and wish they would have kept, we would have kept, because see what happens is when you don't own nothing no more, then when they own it, they change it. So it's never what it was when it first was released. The only people who know what it is when it was first released is the people who own the physical copies of the shit. We know exact. I'm gonna give you a great example. The CD Ready to Unalive by Notorious B.I.G., right? If you don't have the original CD, you don't really get to hear all those lyrics. Because the remastered version of that CD, which is what's out there now, is censored. It's censored. You don't even get to hear the bar in one of those songs where Big talk about the 9/11 towers. Why? Because he rapped that before the 9/11 thing had even happened. So once 9/11 happened, they censored that. So as to not offend anybody. You know what I mean? Oh, it's so cute to watch the maggots come in here and crash out because they see that. Come in here all loud. Don't nobody care. Thank you, Maud. You were arguing with your mom about keeping. Yeah, keep them tapes. That's the only way you're going to be able to see the things that you really want to see. I'm being honest with you. I look at the state of, really in America. Americans have gotten so used to not owning nothing. They don't even own a record player, a tape player, a CD player. Like, because they eventually just let convenience. See, y'all allowed these companies to trick you into, wouldn't it be awesome to have all your music at your fingertips no matter where you are at any moment? And we sitting there, y'all forgot we already had access to that. You can make your own mixtapes. You can make your own CDs. I still remember when CDRWs came out. We were so psyched for CDRWs when they came out. Like when CDs first came out, we liked that. But when we were able to record our own music onto a CD, man, you couldn't tell us nothing. You couldn't tell us nothing. Because now, not only could we have our own music, we had our own music on CDs. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. That's how we were doing. See, you remember it, Shy Girl. I remember it. Oh, you said something with the Rosewood movie ending got changed? I'm not surprised. Man, Napster had us all in a chokehold, okay? Had us all in a chokehold and had us all tearing up our damn computers. Just to get music. We was tearing up our computers, child. Getting all types of stuff on them. Just to get music. But we used to love burning CDs. Remember when you wanted new music, a lot of times you would buy CDs from other people that had put the stuff on CDs. I remember doing that. You didn't always... Now, I would go to the record store. Don't get me wrong. I used to love going to Tower Records. Going to Tower Records was a journey. Because it wasn't in my neighborhood. So anytime I wanted to go to Tower Records, I had to travel. But it was an experience to go to Tower Records. They had all those levels, all those different genres that you could go through. And you could spend hours in that store. Just rummaging through CDs and albums. Oh, I miss Tower Records. I used to love that store. Because Tower Records was that was like, because you had some of the other stores, but Tower Records was the one that was going to have everything. And if they didn't have it, they could get it for you. Man, I'm seeing it in my mind right now. I'm seeing at Tower Records. I used to love going there. That was a whole experience. I saw somebody mention mixed CDs, love mixed CDs. And I remember LimeWire too, Block. I remember LimeWire. Napster and LimeWire had us all in a chokehold, okay? You say you flirted with a salesman so he would let me buy the Usher CD. Child, no you didn't. Listen, you're like, I need this CD. But see, that's how it was back then. Because see, back then, I remember when they start putting that explicit stuff on the stickers on the CD. Because old C. Dolores Tucker, she was upset, remember? C. Dolores Tucker was mad. So they had to start putting that advisory warning on stuff. And then they got to a point you couldn't buy certain CDs if you were under 18. Which was crazy to me. Because again, it goes back to parents. Parents, not government, should be parenting children. You know, but hey. Oh, you said your mom said no because of parental advisory. Wow. Okay, I'm going to tell y'all a story, right? This is a funny story, okay? So my brother and I think I was in middle school, and my brother's 2 years younger than me, so he was like in elementary school, right? So my brother, because he was a young degenerate, okay? He was always up to something. So my brother got a copy of Snoop Dogg's first tape, Doggy Style, right? So we would wait for my mama to leave the house, and we would put it in the cassette player in the living room, because my mother had a record player. You know how they had that component set. Don't act like y'all remember. My mama had a component set, and so she had the upright component set, you know, the tall one with the little glass door, you know, which for your stereo shit. So it had tape deck, the dual tape deck in there, right? So we would put the tape in and listen to the tape when my mama wasn't home. So before she would get home, we would take the tape out. My brother would put the tape back in the thing, and he put it on top of the refrigerator. So one day my mother came home, and she was in the kitchen, she was cleaning, and she found the tape on top of the damn refrigerator. I'll never forget it. And so she see the tape, and she's like, what is this? What are y'all listening to, that Dog Boy? My mother later on she loved her some Snoop Dogg. But in the beginning, she didn't, though. Understand. In the beginning, she did not. She was like, y'all listening to that Dog Boy? We don't listen to that type of stuff. He's a degenerate. He's disrespectful. He say all these types of things. We ain't listening to this stuff. No, it may have been a CD then. Maybe it wasn't a cassette tape, but I thought it was a cassette too, if I'm not mistaken. But it could have been a CD, but I think it was a cassette, if I'm not mistaken. See, y'all gotta remember, Snoop Dogg older than he looked. If I'm not mistaken, Snoop Dogg, look, let me check. I'm gonna look right now. I'm gonna ask, was Doggy Style released on cassette tape? Listen, that's how old I am. Listen. It was probably both. Yes, it was. Because it debuted in 1993, and it was released on cassette tape. I knew it. I was like, because I can still remember the cover, how it went in the jacket and everything. Yeah, that sucker was released on tape. When it was initially released. At some point, it was put onto CD when we got CDs. But at the time in 93, we were still on cassette tapes, baby. That's why I said I remember seeing it. And stuff. I remember seeing it, and I remember my mama found that thing on top of the refrigerator, and she was mad, and she threw it in the trash. Me and my brother was so mad because we was enjoying that CD. I mean, that tape. We also had the NWA tape, too. She found that one, too. Because my brother was lazy. That's why he put it on top of the fridge. He also was taller than my mother, even in elementary school, so he thought that meant that she would never find it. Boy, was he wrong. You had a CD player in 98, Cassie, because Cassie, you probably had some shmoney. I ain't had no CD player in 88, girl. You was doing it big, mama. Shit, you had big money in the 80s. What they say, you had that big money. Nah, I ain't have it. I was still in middle school, so I ain't had no money. No, about that time, yeah, I was in middle school. I ain't had no money. I might have still been in elementary school at that time, 88. Yeah, she probably did have a car phone. You know she did. Had a car phone and had multiple leather jackets. Child. Just was out here doing it big, she was in the 80s. I see you, C. Mandy. I see you. Oh, you said you were a junior in high school. Your aunts were the bee's knees. I know that's right. Everybody love having an auntie. You know, the aunties that's flashy. They don't have no kids. So they got a lot of extra fuck you money. And so they splurge on themselves. Those the aunties that have all the good stuff. Those aunties, you love hanging out with those aunties. Hey, Kiana Black. Hey, beautiful. Thank you so much for the gift, sweetheart. But yeah, oh man, hold up, Reggie. Not you just went back in time with the members only jackets. Oh my goodness. Now that took me back. That took me back. The members only jackets. And the starter jackets. Y'all remember starter jackets? Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. I remember all of that. I remember starter jackets. I remember the members only jackets. Remember people was wearing I'm trying to think whatever. What was Columbia? Remember people were wearing those big old Columbia coats in the wintertime? They was wearing what was the big old coats? Yeah, I remember the troop jackets. What was those other bomber jackets, the big thick ones? Was they by Timberland? I don't remember who those big thick coats. Remember people was wearing Super Tims? Yeah, the puffers and the bomb. Man, those was the days, bruh. That just took me back so much. 90s style is just undisputed. Do you understand? Oh, I remember Coogee sweaters. Stop playing with me. I remember Averex. I remember those days. Listen, kids, listen, you young folks, y'all don't even understand the style of the 90s. The style of the 90s is unmatched. When you talk about hairstyles, clothing, we was looking fly. And gold, the price of gold was so cheap compared to now. I remember having door knocker earrings in middle school. Real gold, 24, like 14 karat gold door knocker earrings in middle school. Because we used to go to the gold spot and buy our earrings. And then after you have your earrings for a while, you might step on them to smush them and flatten them out. And then you'll take all your gold back to the gold place. They can melt it down. You'll either sell it back to them and buy something else, or have them make you a chain. Child, I remember them days. Don't play with me. We thought we was doing it big with our herringbones on. Child, stop playing. Look, we thought we were so fancy and looked real expensive and like we had all this money because we had a black turtleneck on with a herringbone chain. Oh my gosh, I remember those days. Now, if you go to the store, go to a jewelry store. If you look at a pair of standard door knocker earrings, they cost $1,500 to $2,000. Child. And we was getting that stuff on a Tuesday like it was nothing. We out there with herringbones, gold bracelets, door knocker earrings. Man, what a time to be the fuck alive. Y'all have no idea. Don't play. Y'all remember Kane Gold? Stop playing with me. Sergio Tacchini? Man, what? Wait a minute. Y'all taking me all the way back. Man, y'all remember when sweatsuits was an in thing? It wasn't nothing. Women and men would wear sweatsuits. Man, we love some Sergio Tacchini. Stop playing with it. Well, you right. Back before J-Lo tried to make a brand. This is true. MCM. I remember MCM. She was like, does Zales have gold out like that? I remember EK eyeglasses. Not your gold made your skin green. No, we ain't never had that problem. See, I'm going to tell you what we used to do in the city. In D.C., see, I grew up in D.C. We would go to Georgetown. And see, Georgetown was where the people who had money was at. They wasn't going to allow nobody to have jewelry stores down there selling fake shit. You understand? So they had to sell some pretty deep. Now, they used to have this gold, they used to have this store that you could go in and it would just have stands of different gold jewelry suppliers, because people wasn't buying diamonds, they were buying gold. That was the big thing in the 80s and 90s. It was not diamonds, it was fucking gold. Everybody was on gold shit. Yep. And mood rings. Yep. But gold was a hot commodity in the 80s and 90s. If you wanted to show you was fly, because that's what we called it, you was fly, you had a little bit of gold. You might have a gold 4-finger knuckle ring. You know what I mean? You might have gold earrings, gold wrist chains, gold herringbone chain, all types of stuff back then. Man, what? Don't matter what it was, but it let us do what we needed to do. You get me, classy? It let us do it. Look, we be in there thinking we stunting. Man, ain't nothing like a gold tooth. And then people went through that thing where they would get the gold line tooth. You know, where it would be outlined in gold. So like the whole tooth wouldn't be gold. It just be having like a little gold border. Don't play with it. I remember them days, honey. I remember them days. See, look, Nurse Fine remembers. I remember, honey. Yep, I remember Mickey Mouse charms. I remember all of that stuff, man. Those were the days, man. Those were the days. Listen, yes, if you had a gold watch, you was balling. Especially if it didn't have any green undertones implying that it wasn't gold at all. Listen, I remember those were the days, man. Those were the wearing Fila. Y'all remember Diadoras? Do you remember Diadoras? Tennis shoes. Don't play with me. I know I ain't the only one that remembers Diadoras. I'm assuming, yeah, okay, Nurse Fine, remember. Listen, that's old school. Yeah, FUBU, old school. I got one older than that, smooches, cross colors. Stop playing with it. Cross colors. Cross colors. Stop playing with it. Listen, I'm telling you. I remember way back in the day. Yep, I remember arm braces. Yep, Echo was hot. Yep, I remember Dada and Carl Kanai. Man, these were the days. These were the days. Yep, cross colors were huge. I remember cross colors. A lot of people love to wear cross colors. Listen, we was out there in so many colors. Back in the day, folks would pair lime green and bright pink with polka dots. Listen, we was out in these streets cutting up. Do you understand? Do you understand? Yeah, we were wearing designer jeans, but you know I designer jeans. Reggie, ours came from like Kmart. Yeah, because people wasn't paying crazy amounts of money for shit. That's one thing I can say. Back in the 80s and 90s, you looked nice, but you weren't spending exorbitant amounts of money on clothing. Oh no. Only the people on the streets who were into other things could do that. Us regular folk, we had to make our money, do what it do. It had to stretch. Oh, I remember K-Swiss. I used to love K-Swiss. Them white on whites K-Swiss, perfection. I still love Princess Reeboks. But Princess Reeboks be hard to come by. They be hard to come by. But ain't nothing like a pair of old school Princess Reeboks. Nothing. The original old school Princess Reeboks. Oh, I remember Sergio Valentino. I remember that. I remember that too. Yeah, we wore a little polo. But honestly, I ain't really wear polo growing up because my mama wasn't buying that shit. My mama wasn't buying that, so I couldn't get no polo. You said Trump has more scapegoats than anyone. You know what? That's true. But he has a whole party that will help him do that. Y'all got to remember, Trump got a whole party that backs him up. You said you babysat for a month to buy a 7-disc CD. Man, I remember 7. Look, this is the thing people don't realize, Smashley. You bought that 7-disc CD changer. Was it one that goes in a car? Y'all remember that if you wanted to have multiple CDs change in a car, your CD player had to be in your trunk. Don't play with me. Don't act like y'all don't remember. If before they could do the multi-change CD inside your car, that CD player had to go in your trunk because it was too big to fit inside the car in your radio piece. Shit, I remember. Don't play with me. Yep, and so many people had face-offs on their radios because people would break into your car to steal your radio. So they had that face-off plate that they could click the button and take their radio plate in the house when they go in for the night. Stop playing with me. Listen. Listen. Understand how we was doing it then, okay? Don't play with us. We had to do what we had to do. Because the worst thing you wanted is to go to the mall and come out and somebody then broke into your car to steal your damn radio. You would just press that little button, the little faceplate pop off. You could pop it in your purse. A dude would pop it in his pocket. Stop playing with it. You said you had the car CD player from Best Buy that you took the face off. Young as y'all will never know. Oh, what a time to be the fuck alive. Wow, you still have your dad's laser disc of Star Wars. That means that stuff's worth something. Hang on to it, Phil. Don't let it go. You had a cell phone mounted in your car. See, listen. Shauna had a little piece of cash too. But I remember these days, it was a great time. We had a fun time, but it didn't cost a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? It was just chill, but it didn't cost a lot of money at all. Oh, I remember the club steering wheel. Man, I remember when the club came out. How everybody and their mama was running to like an AutoZone or something to buy the damn club. Because think about it, before the club came along, all you had was car alarms, and everybody couldn't afford a car alarm. Because at the time, car alarms would cost you a couple $100. They cost some shmoney. But when you got the club, it evened the playing field. It was so funny. You would see a hoopty with the club on. Listen, I done worked hard for this $500 car. You're not about to steal it. You understand? You're not about to steal this $400 car. Okay? I got the club on it. Hell, I remember when people used to have that thing where they could disconnect and take their steering wheel off and take it in the house. They said you won't steal this motherfucking car. Oh, Mandy, I remember pagers. Oh, I remember pages too. I remember the low jack. Yeah, low jack was for people who had money. Because we couldn't afford that. So we got the club. So even if somebody broke into your car, the chances of them getting that fucking club off was slim to fucking none. Oh yeah, we had removable steering wheels. Stop playing with it. Listen, we had to do what we had to do to keep thieves from taking our stuff now. Okay, that's why when you look at now, your things are less protected now than they were before. Less protected now than they were before. I think, in my opinion anyway. He said, you can find me in the club. Listen, that's what we was doing. I still remember my club was red too. I still remember I had bought a red club. Because I had a Pontiac. I told you I had a Pontiac Cutlass. When I got my first car, when the club came out, I bought that club and I put it on there. And you would stretch it out and put it on your steering wheel. And then you would put the key in and lock it. Because you would make it so you would put it on your steering wheel in a way that even if they got the steering wheel to turn, they still couldn't move the car with that club on there. Stop playing with it. Shit. Y'all can ask the Diddy if you want to. Look, Reggie said he still uses. Listen, it's the best thing ever. Somebody see a club on your car, they're not going to waste their time trying to steal it. It's going to take too long. They'd rather go get your car with a car alarm on it because they can shut off your car alarm faster than trying to get a club off a damn steering wheel. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Just so y'all know. Just so y'all know. Oh yeah, back then was a time to be alive with the club too. The regular club was fun. I remember ladies got in free before 9, 25-cent libations. Oh, what a time. No, I'm sorry, they were 50 cents. Oh, what a time to be alive. Y'all would never know what that's like. Y'all would never know what that's like. Okay? Oh, hold on. Okay. I gotta start wrapping up soon. Look, we trying to go to Red Lobster. I'm going to be honest and transparent about this, right? You know. Now, I saw somebody say something that I want to tell y'all about. I tried to learn how to drive a stick shift. I really did try. I even bought a stick shift car. I couldn't get it. I just couldn't get it. My mother was so frustrated with me. She was like, yo, this is the easiest kind of car to drive. I'm like, to who? To who? First of all, when I look at in the floor of it, 3 pedals. Why are we doing this? That was the first thought I had. It's a lot of confusion here on this floor. Like, why is all of this happening down here? You know, that was my first thing. I knew when I looked at the floor, I said, this is not going to end well. This is not going to end well because it's too many things I have to do, right? It's too many things. I couldn't do it. I tried more than one time to learn how to drive a stick shift. I cannot do it. It is truly a gift for those who can. My mother would always say, feel the car. I'm like, feel what? It all feels the fuck the same. What are you talking about? She would always be like, just feel the car. You can feel when you need to switch the gears. I don't feel nothing. And my mother always was like, listen, don't burn out the clutch. And I'm like, first of all, if you just put me in an automatic, we wouldn't even have to have this discussion. Oh, my mother loved stick shift cars. Yep, my mother loved the stick shift cars, child. She loved it. See, you know what? See, you can always tell people who know how to drive a stick shift, you know, because they like, oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. No, that's not true. Y'all are exceptional people. You just don't give yourself enough credit for being exceptional. That's the problem. Y'all make that shit look easy. It's not easy. It's not. No. It's something, Cassie. I tried. I still remember when my mother learned how to drive a stick shift. My mother learned how to drive a stick shift, I think it was like 15 minutes. I never forget, we were in the car with my godfather, and he had a stick shift. And he took her to the bottom of a hill. And I never forget it, he said, by the time we get to the top of this hill, I guarantee you're going to be able to drive a stick shift. All I remember is us being in the back of that car, and it was just, you do all that. By the time my mom got to the top of that hill, though, she could drive a stick shift, and she loved stick shifts after that ever since. So it was nothing for her, because her thing was they're better on gas. So that's why she liked them. They're better on gas. Their maintenance is better. My mother loved a stick shift. I wish I could. The closest I got to a stick shift, I bought a Nissan Maxima, the kind that, you could switch between driving it as an automatic or stick shift. That's the best I could do. And it wasn't a real stick shift. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a real stick shift. It was one of them fake joints. But that was the best I could do. And even that would frustrate me. Because it would switch gears for you when you would wait too long. I just never drove it like that. I just drove it as a straight. Because I was like, oh, as an automatic. I can't do it. Say it with you. I can't do a stick shift. I can't do it. True, you're right, C. Mandy. Let me tell you something. If I was a criminal and I went to take somebody's car and I saw it was a stick shift, I'm like Jasmine Sullivan. I bust the windows out your car. I'm mad. I'm mad. You had me go through all of that to get in this car only to find out you got 3 pedals? Oh, I'm going to make sure that you're not coming out of your house in the morning and just driving the fuck off. Nope. I couldn't take your car, but I could mess with your wallet, though. I would be in my feelings about that shit. I'd be like, wait a minute. I went through all this shit to break into this fucking car, and this bastard got 3 pedals. This is bullshit. Yeah, I don't do stick shifts. I can't do a stick shift. I've tried. I probably won't ever try. I used to also hate too when my mother would drive a stick shift and have the audacity to be eating while she's driving. Oh, so now you just gonna show off. Now we're gonna show off. We're gonna drive the stick shift. We're gonna deal with 3 pedals, switch gears, and drink a soda, and eat a burger and fry. Okay. All right. You ain't gotta show off. I know you know how to do it, girl. She would make me so mad. I'd be like, you ain't gotta do all of that. Nobody asked for all of that. Miss Girl was always carrying on. My mother loved stick shifts. As I'm talking about it, I can see her in my mind like, this easy work. Right? She stayed being fancy. She got on my nerves. Yeah, my mother could drive a stick. My mother could drive anything. She was one of those people who could drive anything. You let her get in there about 15, 20 minutes. Oh, she ain't like Flint. She good to go. Because, see, my mother was from the South. She was born and raised in North Carolina. So she was one of those people, listen, she going to make it do what it do. I wasn't that chick. Certain cars I can't drive. But I ain't driving no stick shift. If somebody told me I want a free car and it was a stick shift, I would say, okay, can you explain to me how I can sell this? I don't want this car. This car is worthless. It's worthless to me. You can keep it. Let me sell it back. I'm good on it. My husband even tried to teach me how to do a stick shift. Couldn't do it. He gave up. He said, you know what? Just stop. It's okay. We don't have to do this no more. I tried. I did go out one time by myself in that car. Maybe once or twice. And when I did it the second time and I was so frustrated because I got stuck, I had to go up this hill and the shifting, but I ended up figuring it out after a while. I said, no, I never did it again after that. I said, fuck this car, man. My mother was originally from like, down close to Charlotte, North Carolina. My mother's from like a very small town called Marshville, North Carolina, like close to Wingate, North Carolina. My mother's actually from the same small town that like Randy Travis is from, Casey and JoJo is from, people like that. Very, very small town. Very small town. So small, when my stepfather died, Casey and JoJo's sisters sang at my stepfather's funeral. That's how small. And let me explain something to y'all. If y'all think Casey and JoJo can sing, they ain't got shit on their sisters. Understand? Now, I want to be very clear. They ain't got shit on their sisters. Okay? I just want to say that and put it out there. Them sisters some singing women's. Singing. Oh, your people are from Greenvale. Okay. Oh, your family came out of Wilson. Okay, yeah, so y'all know that area. Listen, not all my life. Their families don't sing that type of stuff. Their families only sing church music, gospel music. Them Haley boys stopped singing for the Lord and started singing for us. Huh? But that's not, that's not what the rest of the family did. The rest of the family didn't sing that type of stuff. The rest of the family still sing for God. Oh, so you've been in Charlotte all your life. Okay. Yeah, I still got family down there. And Matthew, I got family down there in Matthews, family down there in Wingate, family down there in Charlotte. I still got family down that way. I just haven't been down there in a while. So, your son grew up watching you drive a stick. I didn't even have to teach him. Yeah, I wish. See, Russ. Russ bragging again. You know what he said? It's in my DNA. My boy got it just by watching. See, obviously, I didn't inherit it from my mama because I could never get it. Russ like, listen, it's in my DNA. My boy was watching me and got it. Fuck is wrong with you, lady? I don't have you gotta have coordination to drive a stick, okay? And that's another thing I realized. I don't know how to coordinate, okay? You really do have to have coordination, and there's a rhythm to it. And I honestly, you could just never figure out the rhythm. So I just said, fuck this. And I went back to driving automatics, and I've never looked back. And frankly, I'm going to be okay. Now, I'm going to tell you though, when I look at those zombie movies, I always go, if an apocalypse happens, I'm done because I can't drive a stick. I'm done. Like when I look at Independence Day and I see, that scene with Vivica, she finds the truck. I say, well, shit, if that was me, we'd be fucked. Yeah, because I don't know how to drive a stick. So me and my baby we would be a victim to the aliens, unfortunately. Because I would not. Because notice, when you see those zombie apocalypse movies, the only cars that anybody ever seems to be able to fucking steal, they have 3 pedals. Give me a horse. Fuck it. I'd rather take a horse. So that's why we like, forget it. You say it sounds like it's struggling when it's a time. I don't hear it. Can I be honest, Cassie? It all sounds like a struggle to me. It's like when my gynecologist says, listen, because I said, I can never tell what a lump feels like because it all feels lumpy to me up in there. When you do your breast exams, I'm like, so I leave it up to you to tell me what's going on, because with that, I can never tell the difference. It all feels like the same. I couldn't tell you what's wrong when there's a difference. So it is what it is. You said you ain't living through no apocalyptic nothing. Listen, I'm gonna fight to the end, but once we get to cars with 3 pedals, unfortunately, that's what's gonna do me in. It's not the zombies. It's the fact that only cars left are the ones on 3 panels. You said you're on foot hiking and gardening. Apocalypse, good. I know that's right. But I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. I want to remind you about those of you who are Circle members on Patreon to check out that new podcast episode that I dropped today, right? The one where I'm talking about this coup that's happening in silence in relation to the Supreme Court. Check that out. That's already in Patreon for you. Everybody gets access to it tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, I released a new episode yesterday about capitalism is devouring America. If you haven't listened to that yet, you need to listen to it, because you need to understand capitalism is not for you. Capitalism is for capitalists, and you're not a capitalist. And you just may not realize it. Check out the link in my bio to gain access to all of that stuff. And come on over and join us on Patreon. We have a lot of fun and we have a good time, especially in that chat room. So come on over and join us sometimes. I think you'll enjoy yourself. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you, Smashley. It was great to go back. I also have an episode. Look, I gotta tell you, because this was one of the episodes that people really enjoyed. I have a nostalgia. I gotta remember which one it is. Episode. I think it was... Look, I gotta find it. I'm looking for what the name of it is. We had it good and we didn't even know it. It's episode 18. Where I talk about how back in the day, man, we had it so good and we didn't even know it, man. And just had a good time. And just remembering to keep having that good time, okay? I thank you all so much. We got 46,000 likes tonight. We got over 100 shares. I appreciate that. I thank you for all of your engagement. I thank you for your time. What I tell you, your time is the most important commodity you have. And when you spend it, you don't get it back. So I appreciate that. Thank you for all of the engagement. Thank you for all of the gifts, no matter how big or how small. Just know, I just appreciate you spending time with me, because I used to do these lives and just sitting there talking to myself. So I appreciate you coming by and hanging out with me. I want to send a shout out to my top 5 gifters. I do this every live. I would love to say it to everybody individually, but that would take more time than the live itself. So don't think that I don't appreciate you. I still do. Okay. Number 1, handsome Russ Nelson. Thank you so much, Russ. Number 2, beautiful my dog is Charlie. Number 3, beautiful Stacy D. Number 4, beautiful Kiana Black. Number 5, beautiful Trail. And a special shout out to handsome number 6, Mr. Reggie Lowry. Mike, look, you making me go, who is it at the door? Mike Lowry. Listen, it's me, Mike Lowry. Thank you, Sierra, for that. Yeah, you can go over to YouTube. Yeah, check. No, I have some stuff on YouTube. Remember, I put my lives on YouTube every day. So the live from this morning is already on YouTube. I'll make sure to put the live from tonight on YouTube as well. And I've been putting some other videos up on YouTube too. Eventually, I'm going to start doing more live events on YouTube. I'm just trying to figure out that system over there, so I don't get banned before I even get started. Because you know me, they be targeting me. Look, it's the system. They own me. That's what all people say when they don't want to follow the damn rules. But I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'll be on here early tomorrow, because I got my routine. I got my dentist appointment in the morning at 10. So I got to get out of here by like 9:30ish tomorrow. So I'll be on here a lot earlier. I'll help you get ready in the morning, okay? Oh, we're at 50,000. Thank you all so much. So I love you guys. I'll see you early in the morning. I'll be online to help you get ready. Give you something to listen to while you're getting ready for work in the morning tomorrow, okay? Listen, I'm going to tell you like I always tell you. Don't let nobody live rent-free in your head. Don't feed the trolls, and you can accomplish anything you put your mind to as long as you stay consistent. Peace, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a good evening.